Hi everyone, today I'm going to be making one of these little bows. Now, I know there's a lot of videos of this about at the moment, but a lot of people have been saying about how fast it is, how there's no sort of help voiceover wise, people prefer that. So I thought I'd do a video just to show you all how I made this one. Now, like many of you may have done, I started off with a video pausing every 5 seconds, trying to work out what I was doing. Which was quite difficult. So hopefully you'll find this helpful. So first thing is you need a square of paper. Doesn't matter what size. The only thing is if you do it too small, it's going to be really difficult to fold. So I've got a piece here which is 11 centimetres square. And this is probably about as small as I'd want to go really. So first things first, some simple origami folds. And it's just bring the corners up to make a rectangle. Make sure you do your folds really well, give them a good press, open it up, do the other side exactly the same. This is all really basic kind of paper folding at this stage. None of it's particularly difficult, it's just knowing what to do. So now we've got a cross on the paper, as you can see. So we can do the corners now, so corner to corner. I like to line mine up exact, doesn't matter if it's not perfect. There will be points where it won't really matter at all. And the same again. So by the time you've done this fold, you should end up with a piece of paper, basically a star shape on it. Okay. So then these two corner pieces, opposites, just push those up. Just give them a fold. And then push the paper back, and what we're trying to do is just bring those points together like that. Okay, bring them in together and just press it all down so you've got a nice little square with a little line up the middle there. Okay, so now we're going to start with the bow parts. So take this corner here and fold this up into the centre line. And again, give that a really good press at this stage, that's quite important. The other thing about your paper, this is just general 80-gram copy of paper. Don't go too heavy because you won't fold it. Okay, so now they're going to open it out. You should end up with a little square in the middle there. Okay, this is the bit I find most tricky, because we need to then push that square into the inside of what we do next. So if you just give the four sides just a general little press. Doesn't have to be too hard, because you don't want to lose any creases. And then what we're looking to do is if you push one line up, I find tuck that bit over and try and fold that bit back. Okay, won't go flat at this stage, but then you need to do the same on its opposite side. This is where it kind of gets a bit more tricky. Just have to keep pushing it until you get it where you want. If you can get it to that stage, then you can just fold it in. So you end up then kind of like a little bishop's mitre. Okay, and again, just line it all up as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just give it a little press. Okay, so we've got our little shape there, like a little hat. Okay, so the next thing is then taking points. We're then going to take this corner and place it so that side there lines up with your fold down the centre. I hope you can see that. Okay, so there we go. Just give that a really good press and do that on both sides. Flip the whole thing over, do the same again. Oh, there we go. So we're back to a little diamond shape now, but with these little flaps. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open it out gently, and it will resist you a little bit, and it will stick up like this. So if you just force it flat there, you see then you get this little square forming in the middle. Just press that down. There we go. So that's what we've got now. We've got the square with a square. Okay. So flip it over. Now these little tabs here, got the four where we just folded, we're going to actually cut from the end up to the fold on all 4 sides. So just do that now. Just pull it open slightly. Good pair of scissors, nice and sharp. So that's how cut's done. Okay, so one of these sides where you've got the flaps, what you're going to do is push that to the other side. Okay, so you've now got this shape. So you can see your bow is starting to form. Now we're going to form that a little bit more. So these sides where your bows are, and you've got the flap that opens out, you can see that. We're now going to fold that bit in. So again, we're using this fold line here as a guide down the centre. Okay. Just line it up before you press it down. That's it. And then give that a really good press. So you can start to see your bow is forming there. Let's do the same on this side. That side done, and then we're just going to turn the whole thing over. So where we were that way, we're now going to put the folds towards us. Bring all that back and do the same on this side. And again, if it's just playing you up a little bit, just use your fingernails to push it out slightly. And again, don't worry if they're not exact. The closer you can get them, better, but it's not absolutely perfect. It's not going to matter. It's a handmade bow. At the end of the day, handmade isn't perfect. Handmade is beautiful. You just want to get it as close to perfection as possible. So now we've got that. Okay, so we can see there, that's our bow starting to form. So we've got these 2 triangles at the back. And what we can do now is go and use your pair of scissors, get them lined up, and just fold, cut up the fold line up the middle. Now it's up to you how far you cut. I like to cut quite far, so if I hold that like that, you can see then I'm cutting fairly close to the bow. If you want to leave it back here, you can. It just means your tails are going to be a slightly different shape and size, but it's completely individual. Okay, so now we've got this cut up the middle. So what we're going to do is, using that, we're going to fold that out. Again, it's up to you what angle you use. There's no right or wrong answer. It all just depends how you want the end product to look. Same on this side. Whatever you do on one side, try and get it pretty much the same on the other. But again, doesn't matter if they're not, just means you've got a slightly different shaped bow. And then these sides here, fold those back over the top of your fold. And again, it's up to you how far you fold them back. So you can now see you've almost got your bow formed, but we've got these rather strange little tags. Looks like it could stand up. Okay, look like a little bit of legs, don't they? So what we're going to do is again take the scissors, decide on how long you want your tag to be, your tail I should say. Try and get it as central as possible there. Again, whatever angle you want. This is entirely up to you. Try and get them to match. I like to just put the scissors up, have a little look how it looks, and then decide from there. So again, on this side, I've got a little bit of a tag sticking out there, so I want to try and make sure that's incorporated. So again, here, do this side first, cut up to the middle, decide where I want it on that side. And then if we've got a little bit left over, you can always just trim that off. You can see that's on the back. Okay, so now you've got that. Last thing to do is then just fold that piece over, tuck it underneath the square. And I like to just roll it in as far as it will go. Again, if it's been a bit of a pain, just give it a little push. Same on that side. Depends what paper you're using as to how awkward it is. And there we go, there's your little bow. Now my tails aren't quite even, so what I'm going to do now is just take a little trim off that one, just to try and even it up slightly. Just be a bit careful when you're doing your cutting, because obviously you can cut too far and then you end up with a slice up the middle of your bow. And there we go, one bow all made. Hope that's helped. Obviously you can glue them down as well, but you can leave them like that. Thanks for watching.